What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another ranking. With the release of Aquaman, the sixth film in the DC Extended Universe, it's a perfect time to give you guys my updated ranking of all 6 DCEU movies, ranked worst to best. I've had a love-hate relationship with the DCEU, and I have a very honest ranking. So, before I get started, let me know your guys' rankings of all the DCEU movies from worst to best. With all my ranking videos, guys, keep in mind this list is completely subjective. These are my favorite films in the DCEU. Your favorite film could be lower on my list, but that's okay, because we all have different opinions on YouTube, so please respect that in the comments below. That's all I ask. Without further ado, let's get started. Coming in at number 6 is gonna be Suicide Squad. Very obvious, Suicide Squad had a lot of potential coming out, but when this movie did release, it felt like a really early release. David Ayer was directing it, and I was hyped. Honestly, this film is really bad, man. The studio did not give David Ayer enough time to write the screenplay. Only 6 weeks to write it. The script was a mess. The whole movie is just poorly done. But it has some very charismatic performances from Will Smith as Deadshot and Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. And Jai Courtney actually wasn't that bad as Captain Boomerang. The villain in this movie, Cara Delevingne as the Enchantress, is the worst DCU villain by far. She was terrible. She did nothing to serve the story, and she was really forgettable. Suicide Squad has some fun moments to it. It's very corny and cartoonish. It's just not a good movie after rewatch. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This movie, I have a love-hate relationship with it. There's things I love about it, and there's things I don't like about it. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor is terrible in this movie. He does the same quirks and stuff that he does in the trailers. Lex Luthor is just this hyper overactive guy that wants to destroy God and make doomsday. And another thing I didn't like was just some of the dialogue scenes, and the final act with Doomsday was just kind of mediocre. But the things I loved about this movie were the Batman portions. Ben Affleck is fantastic as Batman. He was the perfect choice, and he was the best part of the movie. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman's also great. I also like Henry Cavill as Superman, but here he's kind of hollow. Amy Adams as Lois Lane is completely wasted. They do nothing with her. They make her a damsel in distress. She has to try to find the Kryptonian spear, and she loses it. It's just horrible. But I did like that they decided to kill off Superman at the end. It was kind of a cool setup to Justice League, but we all know he's not dead, so overall, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, it's not a great movie. It's not a terrible movie. It's just a meh movie. At number 4 is going to be Justice League. Now, I rewatched Justice League for the second time, and I enjoyed it the first time. I didn't get the hate for it. I thought it was a fun time. But after rewatching it, I did not like it a second time. Man, there's a lot of issues with this movie. And it definitely feels like 2 different directors doing it. Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon. Henry Cavill's CGI mouth is so distracting. The opening scene just looks so, disgusting. The overall feel of the movie does have fun elements. I do like Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Jason Momoa is my favorite as Aquaman. And Ezra Miller was great as The Flash, and Ray Fisher didn't get enough to do as Cyborg. I think the underground fight was the best part of it, but Steppenwolf is oh my god, one of the worst superhero villains of all time. The guy has a very cliche plot. He wants to collect all the mother boxes and bring unity and destruction to the world. Whoa, we've seen a villain like this many times before. Justice League, it is a very flawed film, but man, it's an okay movie. It could have been so much better. Coming in at number 3 is going to be the newly released Aquaman. I just saw this movie last night, so my review is up on my channel if you want to go check out my full-on thoughts. And I really enjoyed this movie. Aquaman was a total blast. James Wan, great job directing this movie. And Jason Momoa as Aquaman was fantastic. The story of him becoming Aquaman, learning how to be a true king was great. Amber Heard as Mara was badass, sexy. Nicole Kidman was great. The whole cast is phenomenal. Patrick Wilson. The script does have a little issues of balancing out different storylines and characters. Black Manta in particular. Black Manta was a badass. I wanted more of him. And the jokes sometimes don't land from the cartoony jokes. There's a repetitive joke that kind of got on my nerve. But overall, Aquaman is a fun popcorn movie and a great way to end 2018. It's fun, man. Number 2 is Man of Steel. I don't care what anybody says. This is the most underrated DCEU movie. I really liked Man of Steel. I love it more each time I watch it. I think Zack Snyder, this is one of his best directed films. And Henry Cavill, I think he's great as Superman. I love Superman's backstory. His father, Jor-El, played by Russell Crowe, great performance. The mother, she was kind of terrible, to be honest. Michael Shannon as General Zod is still the best DCU villain. As of right now, he was definitely a menacing villain. He didn't give a shit. He'll kill anybody that gets in his way. I will find him! I love Hans Zimmer's score in the movie. It's really good. In the final act, yeah, buildings collapse, and it's freaking Superman. What do you expect? The final battle is badass. I love Hans Zimmer's score, and just Zod and Superman just beating the shit out of each other. That's what I want to see in a Superman movie. I think this is the best Superman movie ever made yet. I know nobody agrees with me, but I think it's fantastic. And coming in at number 1 is, of course, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is still the best DCU movie as of right now. I mean, Patty Jenkins coming in to direct is perfect. A woman director directed a great superhero movie and blockbuster. Gal Gadot, she's so beautiful and she's perfect as Wonder Woman. Chris Pine was also great as Steve Trevor. Both of those two together are a match made in heaven. They have great chemistry. All the action sequences are great. The beach battle is epic. The no man's land scene's my favorite. So badass. And the final action scene with Ares. A lot of people say he's a forgettable villain. Yeah, he's a very generic villain, but still David Thewlis was pretty good as the character. I love Wonder Woman. I love the World War I setting. Patty Jenkins nailed it with this movie. I can't wait for the sequel once again. Yeah, what else needs to be said? Wonder Woman is still the best DCU movie as of right now. So there you have it, guys. That was my ranking of all 6 DCU movies. And what did you guys think of my list? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? If you disagree, let me know your guys' rankings down below. Let's have a great discussion. Thank you guys, as always, for watching this ranking. And if you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe today for more content. All my social media links are in the description down below. Click that notification bell on your way out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!